Okay, so rationalize the denominator. This means in math, you're technically not really supposed to leave a radical in the bottom of your fraction. It's just a math technique that you're supposed to do. Okay. I do not want this number with a radical in the bottom. So what I'm going to do is times the bottom by root 3. If I do that to the bottom, what else should I do? Same thing to the top. Essentially, what I've done in math is I've times by 1. This is 1, right? When you have the same thing over the same thing, it's 1. If you're timesing something by 1, you're not changing the value of it. We're changing the look of the number, but not the value of the number. Okay, so the top will make 7 root 3. And the bottom, what is root 3 times root 3? Root 9, which is 3. Okay? I also want you to think a little bit faster. Instead of changing it to a root 9, I want you to just understand that two radicals of the same cancel each other out. Because it's also, this is what I've done. I've done a root 3 times a root 3, which is root 3 repeated, squared, which cancels. That's the same idea. Okay. Number 2. So I don't like that there's a root 2 on the bottom of my fraction, so I'm going to times it by root 2, which means I need to do the same thing to the top. This creates 8 root 10. Do you see where I'm getting that from? Whole number 8, the radical parts together. Then, again, can you go a little faster here, understanding this concept? A root 2 times another root 2 makes whole number 2. Okay, however you're thinking about it, that's what's happening. On this, I'm expecting you to simplify, which means I can also divide those whole numbers. So my answer would be 4 root 10. Please never, ever, ever combine radicals and whole number parts together. They're always compartments with each other. Okay, number 3. So I don't like having a root 5 in the bottom. So I'm going to times it by a root 5, which means I'm timesing the top by root 5. So the top value is root 15. Okay. What is the bottom going to be? 4 times, and then the root 5 is whole number 5. Okay, and look at my final answer. Whenever I'm at the end here, I don't have a radical anymore in the bottom. Okay, that was always our goal. Okay, and this example. Okay, here's the difference. In these first 3 examples I gave, they only had a monomial. Remember that term from grade 10? Monomial, just one term in the bottom. Now, example 4 has a binomial in the bottom. So what you're going to do is use this word that we talked about last week, conjugate. Kind of the way I made you think about it is writing the difference of squares. So this is the bottom. How would I write the conjugate of that binomial? Kind of the same concept of thinking, how do you kind of make a difference of squares? Okay, so a conjugate always has a plus minus. And we would have to do the same thing on the top. Okay, so that's the setup. So on the top here, I'm going to be doing this kind of math, which is just a distribution, a monomial times a binomial. Can you distribute those two things? Okay. And when you do a binomial, your math work is a FOIL, but we get to cheat a little. What's the little bit of a cheat we get to do? The O and the I on a conjugate, same as a difference of squares, what happens? They cancel. And I'll do this for you. The O is minus root 20, and the I is plus root 20. That's why they're gone. They're gone. So we get to cheat. We're going to FLE instead of FOIL. First times first. So what is root 10, root 10? Whole number 10. Plus minus always will make a minus sign. You'll always have a minus sign in that spot. What is root 2, root 2? Whole number 2. Okay, and we'll do one more here. We'll do it all. Okay, look at the bottom. We're going to multiply by the bottom's conjugate. So repeat exactly what you see, but change the sign in the middle. That's what you're doing. Replicate it with a different sign. Did you pick that for your conjugate? 2 root 5 minus 3 root 2. Okay, same thing on the top. Okay, the top, you're going to have to, I'm sorry, do all 4 parts. There's no cheats on that. You're going to have to FOIL it. And the bottom, we are going to understand. We do get to cheat on that one because of the conjugate situation. We'll cancel. Okay, so slow and steady here. This one will make 4 root 15. Outsides should make minus 6 root 6. Insides will make plus 2 root 35. Last will make whole number minus 3 radical 14. Okay, the bottom, we get to FLE it. We're going to cheat. So here we go. First times first. Out front would be a 4. And then root 5, root 5. So 4 in the front, and then the radical parts will make a whole number 5. Okay. Minus, that's always a minus. Plus minus. So here we go, the last. There's a 3 and a 3, so that's going to be minus 9. And then there's a root 2. Okay, and what does that come out to be there? That's a 20 minus 18. So the bottom will be a 2. Okay, and we'll leave it. Otherwise, I probably would have simplified it more, but this. But this one doesn't really divide by 2, so I will just leave it.